Yes, my name is Richard Taylor. I live in Houston, Texas in the United States, and I've been diagnosed with dementia, probably of the Alzheimer's type, about 7 years ago, I believe. About 3 years ago, I wrote a book quite accidentally, and the day after that book came out, people thought I got smarter or more interesting, so they started to call me on the phone and say, "Won't you come over and talk to us?" I said, "Sure, I'd be glad to talk to you. I'm a psychologist. I think about thinking all the time. And I don't think enough people with dementia speak up. People don't know what it's like to live with it because people don't talk about it." So I just started to go around when people would ask me to go speak at churches and little conferences. And that just kind of snowballed into a new purpose to my life. And I go around a lot now, standing up and speaking out and telling people what it's like to live with dementia, probably of the Alzheimer's type. I don't consider myself the voice of Alzheimer's. I'm just Richard, who happens to have dementia. But after talking to hundreds and hundreds of people with dementia all over the world, I found that there's a lot of common issues between us. And it's of value to say that directly to professionals and caregivers and at conferences such as this one. For me, the most important issue in almost any issue concerning dementia is involving people with dementia in their own care, involving people with dementia in the design of pharmacological interventions, asking them, amazingly enough, what they personally want themselves, taking the time to sit and listen to them, looking for new strategies to figure out how to communicate with people deeper in the symptoms of dementia. So the most important issue is that we're ignored, that people who don't have dementia figure out ways to help us, that people who have never had dementia and probably never spent more than an hour with someone with dementia are out teaching other people what to do to help people with dementia. So for me, the most important issue is for people to understand who don't have dementia that people who do have dementia are still whole human beings. That is, we have all the needs of every human being. It's not like we have a little hole in our head and our brains are falling out at night. We still need a sense of self, a sense of dignity, a sense of privacy. We just are not in a position to get those always for ourselves. So the issue is finding out what we feel and then enabling us to either do or acquire those needs, have them met ourselves, or someone else helping me to meet those needs. I think 10 years from now, we'll be embarrassed for our emphasis on pharmacological care. I think we're slowly coming around to the belief that dementia may not be an illness in the sense that there is a pill somewhere and we just haven't found it that will make dementia go away. I think we will be embarrassed that we've spent so much money on the search for a cure and relatively so little money on pharmacological interventions, understanding them, teaching caregivers how to do them themselves, posting them on a website somewhere, having conferences that focus on those. So I'm more positive about the future than I've ever been because of what's being done here and what will be built upon here. My personal hope is that this conference will encourage people in Spain who have dementia to stand up and speak out. That the next time they have the conference, Richard won't come to speak, but there'll be half a dozen people from Spain here that have taken up the cause of telling people what it's like to have dementia. When that happens, non-pharmacological interventions will just happen because people will say, this is what I want.